So like, it's a bit scary that government with such like sort of like a complete control over their country, and such like a ruthless scheme of running the country, they could potentially have control of AI, which they are programmed to do what they want. They might have programmed AI with no regard for human life. That's the problem with AI. Is
Yeah,
AI, it's absolute. Whatever you program, it does
it
it
does.
completes the function.
Hmm.
It doesn't have,
Morals.
it has no human input. It has no string of, ethical
Yeah, it just has
considerations.
no attachment to anything because it's just
Yeah,
it's made just for this specific task.
yeah. So whatever the programmers create, that is what it will do. So that's like a danger. If they program, if people with, a violent agenda just decide to create and program AI that has a similarly violent agenda, then what are we gonna do? Like that's a massive risk. And
That's
then
a yeah apocalypse. That's
also not even accounting the idea that, so the way that AI works nowadays, and I can maybe talk about that if you want to, but the way that it works is you give it, most of the time you teach, so after you teach it, right,
yeah
you teach it with a number of examples. I could go into depth of that, but you teach it with examples, and then it becomes this, you know something that replicates a human brain in terms of a neural network, and you give it stimulus and it reacts in a way that it is learned, and the way that it thinks is appropriate to react. But if you tell it, complete this task, and you don't specify what to do at each step, and you don't give it rules, strict guidelines that it has to follow, and it's sort of, more free to move between these blurred lines, then because it has, no morals, no ethics, and no human consideration or implication, it could end up finding a way to complete that task in a destructive manner. Do you get what I mean? So like,
yeah. I see what you mean.
if
Yeah
if you teach an AI, to save the world,
yeah
you teach it how, the ecosystem works. You teach it how we have been learning to save the world, and how we're rebuilding the ecosystem,
mm.
and that's all you teach it. And then you say, here are some resources, rebuild the ecosystem for all, like, because you've not taught it anything else. You've taught it a specialized field. For all you know, it may, and it may draw up plans that may be like irreversible. So like, it might just wipe out an entire forest because it says, oh, this is where we need to build a huge wind farm because this is the most efficient spot in the world to harvest wind for energy. And then it's just like, fuck, or something like that. Do you get what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, I get you. So it just yeah, it links back to the point where it has literally no morals on anything. It just does that task that is specified, regardless of
Yes, I
anything
think you
else.
got to be really, really, really careful